Love
Hey
it.
everyone, it's Jenny Dietrich back with another Spin Sucks Inquisition, and I am super excited to introduce you to today's guest because she is a fellow PR firm business owner, also a woman, and very, very, very intelligent. So please tell us who you are and what you do.
Hey, so I'm Nicole Rodrigues, and I'm the CEO and founder of NRPR Group, which is a PR firm traditionally in Beverly Hills, but I like to call us a positioning agency because I think that as PR pros, our roles have really evolved from just being press to more being able to position people or companies in their respective industries. So we're coining that term here in B Hills and
in B Hills. And you've also written quite a bit for Spin Sucks. You had, I'm not going to get the name of it correct, but you had a series of content that came out 2-ish months ago that I thought was really, really smart. So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So first of all, I love Spin Sucks, the book, the blog.
Thank you. Thank you.
Big fan of all of it because I think that really being able to break things down in our industry is important. And the series that I kind of pulled together for the readers was around I guess finding clients, dealing with clients, breaking up with clients, knowing that that's okay.
Yep.
All of that stuff is really important. And especially being an agency owner, energy is everything. And finding the right clients who appreciate you and who will work with you is really what is going to help your business move. And if you can't spot that out quickly, you're going to keep, it's almost like the rotten apple spoils the bunch.
Yeah.
That really is true when it comes to clients and things like that. So especially just being 2 years in our life cycle, we're still really young. I've had to make very quick decisions when I've noticed that on the client side, hey, this isn't working for us. And in order for us to grow, we need to make sure that we have, like dating, the energy and chemistry has to be right.
And that's a really important lesson, I think, because it's really hard to do, and you're giving up the revenue and all of that kind of stuff. So it's a really difficult decision to make.
Yeah, big time. I think that's where, as business owners, just PR pros, professionals in general, I think that's where faith in ourselves really comes in.
Yep, totally.
And I think I've always had to have that talk, like, okay, this is
right.
do this, and like, that means that on the business development side, what do I have to do? I know what I'm signing myself up for, but then I also have to think my number one job outside of just making sure clients are happy are keeping the awesome employees that I have in business, or keeping them employed.
And keeping morale high and motivated and all that too.
And clients affect all of that. So
Yep.
I'll have to think of how important that internal resource is to me, and know that if they're happy and they're producing, then I have faith in myself and the team that we can go out and we can replace that.
Love it. So let's switch gears a little bit and talk mistakes. What's the biggest mistake you've made just in the last 6 months?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I think that, let me see, business-wise, what, we all make mistakes, right? I'm sure I've made one. No.
Okay, we can skip it if you've not made any mistakes.
Sure, no, I think it's important because we all learn from them. I'm just trying to think of one, especially that I learned a lesson from, that I can share. I think that,
is there a lesson you've learned, starting your business 2 years ago? I mean, you've been in the industry a lot longer than that. What are some lessons that you learned from going from working for someone to being your own boss?
Oh gosh. I've learned that when you're being your own boss, you are on call all the time.
Non-stop, right?
It doesn't stop. So anyone thinks
I think that's the biggest misconception is people are always like, you're the boss. Yeah, that doesn't mean I can just leave.
Yeah, exactly. That doesn't mean I just make my own schedule and
right.
I show up.
Right.
Like, it's actually the opposite.
Completely opposite.
I would say that, I think one mistake that I have made is not looking out for myself sometimes, making sure that I'm eating and sleeping. I'm a big pusher. Like I push myself. I push the team. It's always just been my way. And sometimes I realize that I can push myself to limits that literally can make me tired and sick, which isn't good.
No, not good.
Yeah. So I think I've been a lot more mindful being a business owner, because I know that the health of myself is also a reflection of the health of the company. So before working for someone else, I would push myself. It didn't, I never looked at it as, oh, I work for someone else's company. I'm working to make myself a better professional every day. And this just so happens to be the environment I'm doing it in. So I would push and push and push myself. But I also had the strength of other teams to sort of pick me up when it was like, guys, okay, I'm tired. Can I just take 48 hours to just rejuice and then I'm going to come back? Being a business owner, you push yourself to that same limit. I can't just rely on my team in the same way. I can't pick up the phone and say, hey, you know that issue that we're dealing with the event space or even our office space? I can't just hand that to someone. So that means that I need to be in good health to be able to handle those little things that I can't always just rely on the team for.
Super good one. Yeah. Really, really good one. So what's one of the trends, at the beginning of every year, everybody says, okay, these are the big trends for this year. So some of the big trends for 2016, what's one that you're using?
You know what? I would have to say that just better communication tools. As communication professionals, I think that we forget that we have to be amazing communicators even within our own groups. Yep. I'm a huge advocate of that. Cutting communication lines is tough. You do that and it's like, I'm going to let everybody know, from my clients to my team members, I'm not a mind reader. So if I don't see it, I don't believe that it's happening. And when I do see it, it's like, okay, cool, that's happening over there. So my team, we're big slackers.
Yep.
In the way that we're using Slack a lot. We've stopped using text as much, just because, one, it's distracting when we all drive. And as much as I try to tell everyone, when you're driving, please be safe, I already know. They're overachievers too. They're like, oh, I'm looking. I'm like, At least with Slack, it's a little bit more where it'll be there when you park or when you get or whatever.
Yes.
And that chain just kind of, it just stays in motion and it's easy to move from. So I would just say that there are a lot of tools and trends around different tech things that are helping us be better communicators. That's one.
So when Laura joins us for the 5-second rule, you should ask her about texting and driving and the $300 ticket she just received.
Good times.
Hey, in fairness, she was at a stoplight, but.
Yeah. And the good thing is I think I always look at those things as like a warning from the universe. It could have been an accident.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, in fairness, she was stopped at a light, and I have also texted while stopped at a light, but apparently you're not supposed to do that either. But you're right. I think that, with Slack, it doesn't pop up the same way a text message does. So I think that, you're absolutely right. What is one thing about yourself that would surprise most people?
So I'm when you see me, like, I'm a very, like, can be bubbly, personable, talk, whatever. I love alone time.
That's the 48 hours of recharge that you need. Yep.
I love to just shut things off, especially on weekends when they're like, oh man, what big events are you going to this weekend? What are you doing? I'm like, oh, the big event? You mean the tea that I'm sipping when I read this book and I shut off my phone? That's the big event. I'm going to this weekend all weekend.
I love it. We could be, if we were in the same city, we would be best friends, because you could sit on one end of the couch and I'd sit on the other and we wouldn't talk to one another.
Like, yours good? You're good?
You're good? Good. Awesome. Yeah. So speaking of books, what are you reading right now?
Honestly, so I'm not to bring religion into the conversation or whatever, but I'm very mindful of cultures, religions, all of that stuff. And every year, I actually read the Quran during Ramadan.
Do you really?
I do, yeah. So I grew up Catholic.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and I would say 4 years ago, I had this major curiosity, like a personal curiosity, to really learn more about other cultures, to be more more tolerant, more understanding. And I really fell in love with, that, I would say that book, a lot of the things that like kind of deep down it stands for. It's unfortunate what's happening with other radicals who are bringing a bad name to it. But, it even says in the Quran, like chapter 1, that, Jews, Christians, Muslims, everyone who basically believes in God, they all pray. We all pray to the same one. All have a right to go to heaven. And when I read that in chapter 1, I was like, that's really beautiful. And I don't think that people know that, but it's also because people don't take the time to really just educate themselves outside of what they hear in the news.
Right.
Not to take everything we read at face value.
Right.
Go do your own research. So that's actually what I'm reading now. Before that, I read for the second time the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership.
Love those.
Love.
Yep. Are you a Netflix watcher?
Oh yeah.
And what was your latest binge?
Bob's Burgers.
Oh, I've heard it's great.
It is hilarious.
I've heard that.
I grew up
burgers.
I'm like, okay, I'd like to say something like really awesome and like, meaningful, whatever. Bob's Burgers, and it's hilarious.
That makes you a very well balanced person. You're reading the Quran and you're watching Bob's Burgers. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yes. So.
I love it. I love it. Did you watch Bloodline?
No.
Oh, I just finished the second season of that. That was fantastic. And I just saw that the Narcos second season is coming Labor Day weekend.
Really?
You know what I'm doing Labor Day weekend.
You're staying in-house.
Right. Exactly.
Reading Netflix and the phone is over here. You were bestie.
Yep. When I read, because I've got the Kindle app on my iPad, and I have to put it in airplane mode just so I can read, so that I'm not disturbed by anybody else.
Beautiful, honestly. Yeah. And if anyone asks, where have you been? Home. Oh.
Saturday, leave me alone.
Yeah. Why are you calling me?
Right. Just text me and I'll text you later.
Yeah, exactly. I'll schedule some time in to check my texts.
That's so funny. I was speaking last week in Cincinnati, and I said something about being an introvert, and everybody in the audience gasped. And I'm like, I know. It doesn't mean that I can't get up here and speak. It just means I need my alone time. Yeah,
no, I totally appreciate that. I think especially because if we look at our bodies as like batteries, really what it is. We can go and go. There's a reason we need food. There's a reason we need sleep. We have to do things like recharge. And I think our brains, being the most powerful tool sort of that we have, if we don't recalibrate and let that just simmer and rest, I mean, don't be around me when my brain is I'm not nice.
When I'm hungry and I'm sleepy.
Yeah. What do you need?
All right, Laura just texted and said she's trying to get in, so I don't know what she's doing wrong. Uh-oh. It's not like she's never done this before.
Hopefully she's not drunk. Awesome.
Sort of. And it says that she's me. Look at that.
Yay.
I told your story of getting a ticket while texting and driving.
Texting and not driving. Texting and sitting.
I was texting and stopping.
I was stopped at a light.
Yeah.
I was stopped.
It was too quiet.
The most aggravating thing is I'm sitting there while they're writing me a ticket, and I'm watching people go down the road, like, videoing themselves as and I'm like,
oh my God. They're like, Snapchat.
They're like going down the road, and I'm like, are you serious? Here I am sitting here, and you're missing all these people. Go after them.
He's like, you're getting a ticket for not videoing.
Right.
Poor Laura.
Yes, so that was a fun story. Hi, Nicole. Great to meet you.
Good to meet you as well. This has been fun.
Well, all right. Are you ready for the 5-second rule game?
She's ready.
I'm kind of nervous. I mean, I've seen this before, so I'm like, okay, we'll just go for it.
It makes me nervous, and I do it every week.
Okay.
Judy will start, show you how it's done, supposedly. Okay, Ginny, would you please name 3 oceans or 3 divisions of the ocean, technically?
The Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, and the Indian Ocean.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Very strong start on your geography there. Okay, Nicole, would you please name 3 creatures that live in their shells?
Oh, turtles, snails, and one of my ex-boyfriends.
That was amazing.
You get extra points for that. Well done.
Love that. Yeah, I think you get extra points for that as well.
Wow. Okay.
We're off to a great start.
Good morning.
Jenny, would you please name 3 ways you might protect yourself from the sun?
Sunscreen, a hat, or a sun umbrella.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
Or,
can see you.
as it's called in our house, a sun barilla.
Oh, so cute.
I can see you strolling down the street with your parasol or sun barilla down the streets of Chicago. It would be quite lovely.
Well, the sun never shines here, so.
That's a good point. Never mind. Okay, this is a summertime themed 5-second roll if you haven't noticed. Okay, Nicole, would you please name 3 things you might do at a pool?
Oh, lounge, swim, and cannonball.
Love it. Water slides.
Yeah.
Oh, water slides. All right, good job. Ginny, would you please name 3 types of swimwear? Female or male swimmer?
Bikini, one piece, tank teeny,
Good job.
Speedos.
All right, Nicole, would you please name 3 islands?
I guess Puerto Rico, the Hawaiian Islands, and Bahamas.
Good.
I was, as you were going, I was like, Maui,
Kauai and Oahu.
Maui.
Yeah.
Okay, Ginny, would you please name 3 things you might do with a coconut?
Crack it open, eat its flesh, drink its milk.
Good job.
Sounds like.
Wear the shells.
There you go.
Very good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very holistic in your
I'm using the whole coconut.
coconut. No waste. Very, very well done. Okay, Nicole, would you please name 3 famous sea creatures? And they could be animated, real, fiction, whatever.
The creature from the Black Lagoon, whales, and dolphins.
And I would like to give a shout out to Finding Dory, which comes out.
Oh yeah.
That was the inspiration behind that one.
There you go.
Okay, let's see. We're on
Or I
the
guess
last
when this runs, it comes out today.
today. Yes. Ginny, would you please name 3 foods that remind you of summer?
Popsicles, watermelon, and hot dogs.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Nicole, same kind of theme. Would you please name 3 types of frozen dessert?
Ice cream, popsicles, and frozen grapes.
Nice.
Oh, good.
Frozen grapes is good. Actually, that sounds really tasty.
That's all. Good job. I made that
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I made it way too easy.
Geography question.
That was way too easy. Yeah.
Yeah, I
You're
was
right.
stuck on the summer theme and I failed on that. So you guys.
But I tell you what, the boyfriend in the shell was pretty good.
He was my boyfriend in high school. I was like, will you just talk? Can you just no? Okay.
I was meeting with our web developer day before yesterday, and he's like, I feel like, he's saying to a couple of people on the team, I feel like you're like me in high school. You're waiting to ask the girl out, but you have a zit on your forehead. So finally you say, okay, I'll ask her out when the zit goes away. But the zit goes away, but then you have a zit on your chin. And all of a sudden you're at graduation. I was like,
Oh my god.
that is an interesting
That is a fun
analogy.
analogy.
Yeah. So David, we know how things worked with you in
Right.
high school. So I say that to say at least he asked you out.
Right.
At least he had a girlfriend. Nicole, tell people where they can find you online.
So you can find my company, NRPR Group, at nrprgroup.com and across all social media at NRPR Group. You can find me personally across all social media at Nicole RPR.
Nicole RPR, and I will link to everything in the blog post. Thank you so much for joining us. It was so good to see you. So good to chat with you.
Oh, awesome. Seriously, you are awesome. I think you guys are doing great. I love this show. And we also have PRfect Pitch, our radio show, and I'd love to have you as a guest. So
we're done.
To make that happen.
Awesome.
And then maybe I'll incorporate a 5-second rule just because of what it, no. But no, this is awesome. So thank you so much for
oh my gosh, it's pleasure.
Yeah.